Thank you for having me. My name is Jason Chattel. I'm former president and CEO of Superior Health Management. My background is I have an undergraduate in business and nursing. I attended Xavier University School of Medicine. I am currently completing my MBA in healthcare management. I'll be done with that within the next year. Again, thank you for allowing me to be here today. And Michonne made a good point on the slide back here with the caterpillar and going into the butterfly. He said that the caterpillar doesn't make complain about very much, but his mobility is limited. I want to leave you, or I want to begin with a quote with you guys from Dr. Bruce Lipton. You are responsible for everything in your life once you become aware that you're responsible for everything in your life. Think about that. So the caterpillar, everybody wants to eventually become that butterfly. Like I said, we get caught into the fact, like we're talking about influences, we begin to blame others. Like I said, we're responsible for our choices and our mobility to move into becoming that caterpillar. So what I'm going to talk to you guys a little about today is healthcare concerns that are impacting you as a ethnic group. All right, what we're going to talk about is cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. All right, the first two I'm going to kind of group together. Cardiovascular disease has been the #1 killer in America for the past 109 out of 110 years. African Americans, it is your #1 killer. Stroke falls way behind. I'm going to let Mr. Johnson and his expertise talk about how we can prevent that in exercise and nutrition, but lifestyle plays a major role in cardiovascular disease. What I'll talk about from a medical standpoint is what we can control. Unfortunately, we can't control our health history, right? We're born with our genes. But what we can do is we can affect how we take those genes and how we can live a more productive and healthier life. How do we do this? Is with screening. Blood pressure, smoking, overeating, cholesterol are major factors that contribute to cardiovascular disease. I'm going to group cardiovascular disease and diabetes together. Diabetes affects 3.2 million African Americans every year. Do you know that your population, there's 33% have no idea they even have diabetes? Wow. All right, that's a pretty astounding fact. There's 31 out of every 3 people have no idea they even have diabetes. All right, 66% of people with diabetes will end up with cardiovascular disease. Wow. 65% of those people will die from cardiovascular disease, and 18% will die from stroke. If you have diabetes, you are 4 times more likely to come down with cardiovascular disease. That's true. That's impactful numbers right there. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about diabetes. What is diabetes? All right, there's 2 types of diabetes. There's type 1 and there's type 2. Type 1 is a genetic. You're born with that type of diabetes. Your pancreas is what produces your insulin. Doesn't produce it efficiently. So these individuals tend to be on insulin the rest of their life. Proper management helps us to control diabetes. Mr. Johnson will also tell you about how diabetes affects type 2 and what that is. Type 2 has to do with our lifestyle management, healthy eating. What happens in type 2 diabetes is our cells become so resistant to insulin that the blood glucose, or the sugar within our bloodstream, gets up too high. The complications with diabetes, like I talked about, was cardiovascular disease. But also we have this diabetic neuropathy. We have nerves throughout our body. Think about it. Too much sugar in the blood. Think about like when sugar gets melted or anything that's like real goopy. It's the same thing with your blood. All right? So what it begins to do, it begins to affect the nerves within your body. You begin not to feel your feet. You can't feel when you're in pain. It affects your kidneys. It affects your heart. It affects your eyes. Go blind. I've seen patients over the past 10 years who've lost limbs because of diabetes. Improper control of the diabetes. It's about education. Again, it's about being responsible for the different aspects in your life.